Earlier this week, I was in the shower and I was thinking about how if someone I know was asking me for advice on the investment market, because the crypto market right now is booming, and he knows that I've been doing it for a while, and I gave him advice before, right? And I've given him the exact same advice every single year, right? Whether he listens to it or not is beyond me, right? But I try not to give too much financial advice, because if they start losing or they don't understand the concept of investing, it always comes back to me. So nowadays I just say, oh yeah, no, I don't give financial advice, whatever, right? And it's so interesting to me because I have told this guy, he's close to me, so I always try to give him advice because I want everybody to make money, right? And so I always tell him the same thing, and he never listens. And he asks me the same question every year. So I was like, when he asked me again this year, it kind of annoyed me. So I'm in the shower just thinking, I was like, you can give the most perfect advice to anyone you want, but if they're not like-minded as you are, it'll do nothing for them. And I've had multiple examples of this, right? Another person who was very close to me saw like that I was getting in shape. They're like, oh, Mirage, I always see you in the gym, blah, blah, blah. How do I get fit? And I gave them a blueprint, a map to perfectly get exactly where they need to be in the shortest amount of time. Because for me, when I started going to the gym myself, I had to learn the different exercises. I had to learn what mattered. I had to learn how calories in and out worked, how activity worked, everything, right? So it took me a longer time to get to where I wanted to be because I didn't have the knowledge yet. I had to gain it myself and then apply the skills with the knowledge, right? So what could have been done maybe in 1 year, 2 years, it took me 3 years, right? Whatever. But I learned it myself. And that's why, like, any question that I might have, I know how to figure it out myself. But if someone else is gonna ask me for the advice, I'll give it to them, right? Especially if they're close to me, whatever, right? I tell them the exact blueprint. Okay, you're gonna control your diet, right? Make alternatives for all the really heavy calorie stuff that you eat. Go into the gym, try to do some cardio so you have more activity in your day-to-day. Sleep, avoid eating excess, weight lift so that you build muscle and your muscles burn calories overnight, allowing you to have more calorie burn throughout the day. Stuff like that, right? I told her everything for I think an hour and a half, and she took none of it. She kept listening. She said, yeah, blah, 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 that makes sense, this and that. And she did not do anything upon it. But if someone gave me that advice, given that I asked them, I would have listened to everything. I would have took notes, and then I would have acted upon it, because the person that I was asking would have been like-minded as me, right? So if you talk to people who completely have a different mindset than you, they aren't similar into the way you act, which is going to be rare, but there are people who act and think just like you, giving them advice is completely useless. Like the people that I look up to, the people that I listen to, right? I feel like we have like minds, right? They have the same interests as me. They think the same way as me. They have they're in self-improvement. Maybe they go to the gym. Maybe they read books. Maybe they want to work on their own business. They value education, action over just learning and just listening and talking, whatever, right? And so when they talk about certain things, I understand them and it resonates with me, because I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I should probably do that too. And if they are successful, if what I deem successful, if they are in those positions, then I'm going to do what they're doing to get to that position. And then if someone who wants to have one aspect of something that I have, and then I give them advice, but they aren't like-minded as me, it doesn't logically make sense in their head. So they never go through with it. So like the girl that I gave gym advice to, she didn't think about how important it was to actually go to the gym and be healthy, and all the external benefits that you gain from it, like the mental clarity, just the relaxation, just enjoyment of a hobby. You avoid drinking and smoking, and it's just a good habit to build for the rest of your life, right? It didn't logically make sense in her because she never did the research and never looked into it, and maybe it's just her brain isn't wired that way. And the other guy who I gave investment advice to, crypto, it didn't make sense to him, because the reason I invest in crypto is because I understand where the market is going. I feel like everything gets revolutionized through everything becomes digitized, everything, right? And so with enough time, I think the money world is going to become digitized as well, which is the whole point of crypto, getting away from the banks and decentralizing and everything. So when I look at it, I'll put my money in there and I'll wait 5 years, 10 years. I'm not going to look at that money anymore. But for them, that whole idea of just putting their money away in something and then seeing the money go up and down because of volatility, they start freaking out. They start getting scared. They pull out immediately. They take their money out. They take a loss. But me, I will leave my money in there and I'll make money in the long run, right? Because I know where the market is heading. If you don't understand the fundamentals and the, even if you don't want to like look into the nitty gritty of like the financial statements and everything, if you just understand the fundamentals, like someone who invests in Apple, like I did, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna invest in Apple because I don't see another competitor coming in and then just taking them over within the next 5 or 10 years or whatever, right? So you invest in Apple because you understand where the product is gonna go. Even if you lose money on the daily over a long run, over the like course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, you know the stock is gonna go up eventually. But the same thing with for me when I see like Ethereum, right? I know Ethereum is gonna go up eventually because I've seen it. I've been in that. I've been in Ethereum for long enough. The owner, Vladimir Buterin, no, I forgot how to say. I don't know how to say his name, right? But that guy, right? He's really smart. I see that he doesn't like. He's not like all the other scammy guys, whatever, right? So you have to understand all these little things about the whatever you're investing in, so that you can hold it even when it goes down. You know it's gonna come back up eventually. If it actually gonna take over, there's always a chance it goes to zero, whatever the case may be, right? I'm willing to take that risk, but they aren't willing to balance things out in their head because it just doesn't make sense to them. So if you're gonna give advice to someone, make sure they are like-minded as you, or it's just a complete waste of time because things that don't logically make sense to them. Like even with him, I know like we both have an interest in money, let's just say, and the way he makes money, I would never go about learning those ways of making money because those business models don't make sense to me, and I don't feel interested in enough in those models to continue doing them. You want to learn skills that you can continually do. They need to be sustainable for you. So investing is sustainable for me because I can continuously do it and I can wait and be patient and let the money go up. But in his business model, he likes fast money. So, he does fast business models, but I don't think they're sustainable. In the long run, I don't understand. For me personally, I don't understand how he's going to continue making money in those methods. I think they take too much energy and effort and too much risk, right, for the outcome or the amount of money he might make out of it. So I would never do those methods, and the methods that I'm doing to make money, he probably wouldn't do them either, and that's completely fine. Each to their own, based off their interests, based off their knowledge, based off their skills. So you need to find people, if you're actually gonna take the energy to give someone advice, make sure they're like-minded or it's just gonna be a waste of air.